Okay, people have different way of coping with adversity. Okay, some people go to church because I think that's the best one. Because if I say taking drugs or smoking or drinking, those are ways of coping with adversity. Even sex is a way of coping with adversity. Please don't use sex as a way of coping with adversity. Okay, use other stuff that are productive in nature, not reproductive in nature, so that at the end of the day you're not going to add adversity to adversity. You don't add more problems to already existing problem. Hello, do you know according there are different kind of intelligence? Okay, depending on how you put it, intelligence, quotient, intelligence. I think it's called intelligence now. Depending on how you put it, there are. So without further ado, let's get into the video. The first intelligence we're going to look at is obviously the intelligence quotient. Okay, oh, that's why I said quotient or intelligence. Now, intelligence quotient is your ability to read, understand, remember, and recall. So that is the basic thing that people probably look at when they are going to school: the ability to remember, read and remember, and recall and write the exams and pass. Now, but there are more to that. Okay, for you to read and understand, you have to put in certain things in place. Now, there's environment that you can stay and read, and you understand, you retain. Then the environment that you cannot stay and read, and you, even no matter how long you spend in that environment, you can never retain. For instance, you see people listening to music and reading for the first time. When you're reading the first time, you're not supposed to listen to music. It's probably when you're revising, that's when you're supposed to do. But people that have high intelligence quotient are people that can actually read easily and recall easily. So that is the first step of intelligence quotient. Another one is the emotional quotient. Is the measure of the ability to maintain peace with others, maintain relationship, keep to time, be responsible, honest, respect boundaries, humble, genuine, and considerate. Now, you find out that some people are not considerate. Some people don't respect time. Some people don't respect relationships. Some people don't respect human being as a whole. Like they don't have respect. Now, that is where the emotional quotient comes in. Now, you need to develop your emotional quotient because you find out that people cannot sustain relationship because after school you have to get married, and when you get married you have to stay with your spouse, your husband and your wife, and you're going to have children. At the end of the day, you know that you have to maintain a good relationship with your spouse and your children. So if you don't have a good emotional quotient, then you find that you'll be struggling. You probably get married one day and then you get divorced the other day. So it is good for you to have a very good emotional quotient because your good emotional quotient is going to make you live peacefully with your colleagues in school. You're going to respect time. You find people coming to classes late. You find people going to school late. You find people going to even exams late. That is where your emotional quotient comes in. So you have to improve on it because life in school is not just about remembering and studying. You have to learn how to be emotional, how to show sympathy, how to show love, how to express love, how to sustain, how to make a relationship fun. You get, because if you are not emotional towards something, emotional people are quite good people to work with because you know what they like, you know how they like it, and it's easy to work with people that are emotional. The next one is your social quotient. Now, social quotient is a measure of your ability to build good networks with friends and maintain it over a period of time. Now, people sometimes don't know how to keep friends. Like me, number one, I don't know how to keep friends, but I think I'm learning how to keep friends because it's one thing for you to have a friend, and it's another thing for you to sustain, to maintain that relationship for as long as possible. Now, it depends also on your take on human being because some people have this very bad perception of human being that everybody is bad. Yes. So because of that, you make one mistake, they kind of flush you out of their life. Yes, it happens a lot. So your social quotient is going to allow you make friends, allow those friends make mistakes, and then see it like a step forward towards a healthy relationship rather than that person being a bad person. You get? So your social quotient is going to help you a lot. Now, when you're working in school, you need social quotient. You need to be social for you to even interact with your classmates and your classmates. Now, you need social quotient to interact in class, And when you are graduating, when you're now a graduate out of the university system, you will need your social quotient for you to work with your boss. You get, because if you don't have a good social quotient, you may not be able to take directions, you may not be able to take instructions from your boss, and that is bad for business. So that is why a an intelligent boss will always employ somebody that has a good social skill. Now, whenever you're in school, please try to be as social as you can. Some people prioritize so much on education and forget that social lives is one of the basic things that people look for when they are employing. I read the statistics that people that are intelligent end up employing less intelligent people that are social, because social skill is what is going to drive the market. When you look at marketers, the people that can talk easily with people, the people that can convince people. If you're not social, you cannot convince people, you cannot market your goods. So employers will want to employ people that they can use to market their product. So you need a good social skill, especially for marketing firm. If you're in marketing, commerce, and stuff like that. Even for people that are even doing medicine and surgery, and even pharmacy and engineering, sometimes you need to work on your social skill for you to be able to work favorably with anybody and everybody to come across. Okay, that's why most time you go to the hospital and you find out that there are so many wicked nurses, because yes, nurses, some of them are quite wicked. You go to the hospital, you're talking, they are pressing from their chewing gum, they are watching Telemundo. They will not attend to you because they have a very, very low socials. And those people, they find it very, very difficult to get married. I'm sorry, I'm not, marriage is not really a factor in my person. But I know that before you can get married, if you are looking forward to get married, you have to work on your social skill, your emotional skill, okay? Now, the last one, which is adversity quotient, is your ability to withstand adversity when it comes. Now, as a student, as a graduate, as a worker, you need to work on your adversity quotient, because adversity quotient is what is going to keep you from committing suicide. You find out that during the coronavirus period, a lot of people committed suicide. You find out that during the strike period in Nigeria, the 8-month strike in Nigeria, 2022 strike action in Nigeria, 10 professors committed suicide, died in Cross River, in University of Calabar. Now, I'm not saying that the ones that stayed alive did not probably went through almost the same stress that they went through. But what separated the people that died from people that survived is the adversity quotient. That is why you find a lot of students committing suicide. When you fail a course, you are dropping out of school, you commit suicide. It is your adversity quotient that is speaking. So if you have a high adversity quotient, there's a chance that when everybody is dying, you are dying inside. You are dying inside, but you are looking for ways to survive. You're surviving, like you're you're looking at the future. You believe that the future is bright, even if you don't have a total glimpse of the future. You believe that the future will be bright. That is where your adversity quotient comes in. So, as a student, you have to learn how to master your adversity, because it is not easy. As a student, it is not easy. Even if you have parents that are paying money for your school fees, you have parents that are sending money to you every week, you have parents that are checking on you and buying provisions for you. Reading is not easy. So it is your adversity quotient that will make you keep on pushing on when things becomes difficult, because there's always a time in life when everything like becomes so stressful that you cannot even breathe. Yes, it happens to me. It happens to me. Like it's not even happened to me. It happens to me like many times. So what keeps me smiling even in adversity is the belief that things will get better. And that is what you need when you are working with your adversity quotient. Okay. So as a student, as a worker, as you watching this video right now, if you're going through any form of adversity, if you probably think that you might run into any form of adversity, you have to learn how to believe that every adversity is a stepping stone, because what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. Okay, people have different way of coping with adversity. Okay, some people go to church, because I think that is the best one, because if I say taking drugs or smoking or drinking, those are ways of coping with adversity. Even sex, is a way of coping with adversity. That's why I find a lot of poor men having plenty children, because when they are going through adversity, they use sex as possibly the way of coping with adversity. So they always have sex, and their wife are always giving children and children and children. So please don't use sex as a way of coping with adversity, okay? Use other stuff that are productive in nature, not reproductive in nature. So that at the end of the day, you're not going to add adversity to adversity. You don't add more problems to already existing problem. Because if you use reproduction as a way of coping with adversity, you keep on adding adversity to adversity, and that is like double adversity. There's this very poor man that I know that have 12 children, and the man doesn't have any job. Matter of fact, so don't try to do that, okay? Try to reduce the adversity, okay, by thinking before you act, okay? So if you use church as your way of coping with adversity, I think that one is the best for now, okay, that I can think of. Because taking alcohol will probably make you start misbehaving. You find a lot of drunk people destroying their house and their marriage and their kids and their earnings and everything. If you start taking drugs, then you find out that drugs is going to make you do certain things that you're not supposed to do with your normal mind. And at the end of the day, when you now come out of it, you find out that you now regret taking that drugs, especially if you're not someone that takes drugs all the time. And also, drug is very addictive, okay? So if you take drug, you might end up spending all your money on drugs, okay? So please try as much as possible to, when you're coping with adversity, please don't commit suicide, okay? Because suicide is not the answer to adversity, okay? Hard times will always come. As a matter of fact, life on earth is hard, but you don't have to kill yourself or exit that way to cope with adversity. And as a matter of fact, how are we even sure that after committing suicide, where you are going to is going to be peaceful, or you're going to be resting? Who knows? We only know here. So when you're coping with adversity, education is adversity, reading is adversity, marriage is adversity. Everything that you're doing is, if it's have one adversity hidden on it. So please learn how to cope with adversity, okay? But if you have to indulge in sexual activity to cope with adversity, then you have to do it responsibly. You get, do it with condom, do it with pills, with birth control. Okay. My name is Paul Udom. Thank you for watching my video. If you haven't subscribed, please care to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. God bless you.